Hello, everybody. Oh, look at you playing guitar.
Nope.
Welcome to the Unnamed Show. We are still the Unnamed Show, where we talk about security and relationships. My name's
Indeed.
Ashley. I am your host, Senior Marketing Manager over at Jupiter One, and this is my co-host, Tyler.
Hello. Tyler
Would you like?
Shields, Chief Marketing Officer, Jupiter One. Thank you, Ashley, producer extraordinaire Lee.
Woo! So this episode, we're gonna have you play guitar, right?
Nope.
And perform.
Although in the little 15-second countdown intro we did before going live there, I did spend about 10 seconds, 15 seconds attempting to figure out how to play that on the guitar.
Is it
So
even
hopefully,
tuned?
no, it was not in tune. It was actually pretty bad. But I'm not sure if it was my inability to play guitar, which is pretty horrible, or if it was the actual out of tuneness that made it sound bad. So I'm not sure. It's a good question.
Okay.
How was your
If you
week
had
been?
to sing,
How was your
oh,
last week, Ashley?
my last week was great. I was on vacation,
Where did you
traveling.
go? Where did you go? What did you do? Give us the 30-second skinny.
Yeah, so I had family over for Thanksgiving. And then midweek, I flew to LA to go watch BTS in concert. Then left LA to come back home and then go to Steamboat Springs for the weekend with my
So
husband.
I'm gonna
So,
I'm gonna ask to rewind for a moment here
yes,
and say
yes,
that you went and saw BTS for the very first time.
yes,
And
yes,
tell us
live.
how was the experience? Was it everything you thought it was going to be? Was it everything you thought it was going to be cracked up to be? Are you excited by it? Happy? Let
Yes.
down? What was it?
So, aside from the awful experience at SoFi Stadium and just the terrible logistics that they had, the concert itself was freaking amazing. It was like 3 hours of pure BTS and Army, and it was everything I hoped it would be and more. So
Was the
there
army
were
out in full effect?
tears. Oh, yeah. We were out there with our Army bombs and screaming our heads off and crying ugly cries because it was wonderful to just see them live. So BTS, if you haven't heard of them, listen to them. If you, want to see them in concert, I think they're going to be announcing a world tour at some point. So who knows when they'll be
And
back in the States.
if there's any audience members listening right now, go ahead and comment in the comment section if you've seen BTS, what your favorite BTS song is. If you have any love stories about BTS, because I'm sure Ashley will just be in heaven if we have some amazing BTS style comments that come in. So let's get those comments flowing.
Yes. While
I
that's
was in I
happening,
was
what
in
did you do?
Vegas.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas.
Partying it
Yes.
up, losing money.
Have you seen how old I am? Partying's not really on the to-do list for me. However, losing all my money was definitely on the to-do list. I since have come home and made my son get a third job and my wife get a second job just to pay off the debts that I accrued last week. Because apparently I'm not as good as a gambler as I thought I was. So, but all in all, the trip was fantastic. I was out there
Anything
for
special?
AWS
Yeah.
reInvent, the reInvent
Very cool.
conference, which we're going to dive quite a bit into in this episode of the TV show.
Yeah, and speaking of AWS reInvent, we've got a wonderful guest with us who also went to AWS reInvent. So give a warm welcome to Carter Hesterman, who
Oh,
is
look, and he's
also.
jamming too.
Hello there.
He had to show me up. Look at this.
I just thought we were all like, I thought that's how we start the show is just, playing on guitar because I've never.
That's how we start every episode, Carter. Hester Man with an A and not an E.
Not any.
Not an E.
I've
But
never
I have to
had-
say that I'd be willing to bet if you and I, one of these days, we may even have to do this, potentially even live, had a guitar riff off, I think I would get my ass kicked. I think I would get stomped.
That feels like a really intense thing to do though. Like let's just jam. Like let's be on the same team. Music together. I
All
don't
right,
know
you
what a
talk
riff off is, but competitive guitar playing doesn't sound like something I'd do well at.
And I don't know what a riff off is either, but I thought there might be such a thing, so I don't know.
It was a good swing. It was a good guess.
What we
On
need
the
to do
top
is
of
a
it,
battle of
spelling
the
my name
band.
wrong actually. I don't know if I told you this, but when I checked into the hotel, for the listeners, Tyler spelled my name wrong when making the reservation for me. He spelled it M-E-N. Unforgivable.
No, I did
But
not.
here's the crazy thing. Hesterman is a super common last name, right? You just see them all over the place. They checked me into the wrong room. And they're like, and you need to pay this many $1,000s. I was like, wait, I thought it was already covered. And they're like, no, nothing. I was like, there's no card on file, no Tyler or anything. They're like, no. We'll take your card. And I was like, okay. And I was like, hang on, are you sure? Like, how long is the dates roll around? I was like, this isn't right. Like, double check my name. There was another person there named Jacob Hesterman. And they just checked for the only Hesterman in the system because there was only one since my last name was spelled wrong. So they searched for it with an M-E-N and they got
And
it.
for what it's worth, I spelled it right, but when I made the reservation, the lady wrote it down wrong. I did not spell your last name wrong.
Always deferring faults. This is
Yeah.
what I have to deal with on the regular.
Well, of course, I'm middle management. I just point at everybody else. It's right in my job description.
I see a comment from Jasmine. I will happily do an Yngve Malmsteen rendition with Tyler. Are you down?
I would 100% do one of those if I knew who that was.
It's okay. Just Swedish metal music.
I kind of like when I saw the name Malmsteen, my brain immediately went to Rammstein, and that's kind of what I equated it to. Is it in the same realm?
I don't know what Rammstein is, so I think we're going to be drawing neutral here.
Okay. There's the comment to a Malmsteen.
Top marks, Jasmine. That's I'm a fan of anybody who's a fan.
So, as a side note, Jasmine Henry, who just left that comment, is the latest addition to the Jupiter One team. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, she joined the marketing team / field security / operational security. She's wearing many hats. I'm super excited to have her on the team, so I wanted to call out that she's joined the team. But no, I won't be doing a Malmsteen or a Rammstein duet anytime soon. So neoclassical shredding. No,
yeah, I can't play it. It's way too fast.
I struggle with bar.
All it takes is practice, right?
There. It does take practice and like not having a day job. I'm going to play guitar for 10 hours a day and then I will do it. Just lock myself in a closet with a metronome for a year.
If only.
What is this metronome you speak of, Carter?
This thing that I hear guitar players use. It makes noise.
It clicks and does weird noises.
Yeah.
So, super producer.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today? What is our topic du jour?
Our topic is AWS reInvent. You both were able to go and have a blast over in Vegas while I was gallivanting and dancing with BTS. So, we each had our fun. And so I just wanted to kind of get a lowdown on what went on there. Any cool keynote sessions that you went to?
It's Vegas. We can't tell you.
Yeah.
We can't tell you what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, right, Carter?
Well, there blows up my entire agenda.
Well, we better just we better just end this show right now because what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. So,
well, you could just play your guitars. We could have a whole episode of you playing. So,
all right, back to the real topics then. In that case, so I have for those of you that don't know, when you do these kinds of live shows, you usually have a prep call, and we usually go through the prep call, and we usually bullshit around for half an hour, and a lot of the interesting things we discuss in that 30 minutes makes it to the show, and some things don't make the cut. But I wanted to open up the conversation with one of the questions that we discussed around keynotes. I, as CMO, was doing booth duties and Gartner analyst calls and customer lunches, and so I was not able to make any of the keynotes. So I was hoping Carter could give us a little bit of a rundown on any of the keynotes he saw, what his thoughts were, what his opinions were, if they were worth the time. What were your thoughts, Carter?
Yeah, first, am I able to do my monocle thing on like live television? Like, Tyler, that sounds very. This is a monocle for those of you. I guess I'm not asking. I wasn't able to attend the keynotes because I was busy meeting with the Gartner Magic Quadrant.
Humble brag. I get it. Okay,
it's a flex. I get it. You're an executive, so it's your job. I made it to a few keynotes. There were a few nights where I stayed up a little bit later. Was a little bit late to some of the keynotes, but thankfully they had some in the afternoons as well that I was able to attend. The first one I attended was I can't remember, but I have some notes up here on my other screen because I had to refresh. Adam Selipsky. But they covered a lot, so many things in these keynotes, and they kind of jump back and forth between like who was talking. They covered all sorts. They announced new products. They announced, they talked a lot about like their new computing and like some of the new capabilities there. A lot about spot instances and Graviton. One of the things that stuck out to me the most though was I think it was Adam. He talked about just like the importance of data. And he actually gave a story about Florence Nightingale and how Florence Nightingale is like one of the original like data nerds. And how she gathered all this data about like all the people in the hospitals and like during like war and like what they were dying of. Like who was dying of their wounds and like who was dying of like sickness or like other things. There was like 3 categories. I don't know whether categories there would be. But that's when she gathered all this data and created a different kind of like pie chart. I can't remember what the name of it is, but and she used that data to determine like, oh, like our medical equipment and like everything that like we're using to like take care of the people is what's killing them, not the diseases or like not their injuries. Like they're getting sick from like other things. So that was interesting, kind of thought provoking, I guess, about like, data and stuff like that. But the other one that stuck out to me the most, and sorry, I'm not coming in like with any specifics on like any specific AWS products because there were so many that they talked about. But the other one that was big, and
there are so many AWS products. That's a whole other problem. Literally, like you can't keep your arms around all the AWS products they're expanding.
You could fill a Walmart if they were like physical products, like one box per like product in like the AWS console. You could like fill a Walmart and go.
You could fill a super Walmart right next to the grocery aisle.
Mm-hmm. It'd be the AWS aisle. That kind of sounds like something that would trigger me if I went to a grocery store. I'd get nervous and start sweating that I got to get out of here.
That's like, so it's funny you say that. I'll tell you a brief diversion from our AWS discussion for a personal Tyler story. I have not been into a Costco in years. And the reason I've not been into a Costco in years is I literally rage quit Costco. I went on a Saturday afternoon. My wife was out of town and she said, go grocery shopping. So I, being the good person that I am, said, I'm going to go to Costco and save money and do all my grocery shopping at Costco. So we get into Costco.
On a Saturday afternoon. I already know.
Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
First of all, I take 20 minutes circling the parking lot looking for a spot because the whole parking lot's full. So already my rage meter is like at 9 out of 10. So I go in and I show the guy my little Costco ID and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the right thing. So I grab the cart and I start pushing down past the TVs. You get past the front section where the TVs and the electronics are, and you get to the grocery section. And I look up, and I'm going down the first aisle, and I look up, and I realize there's not a sign on any aisle inside of Costco that tells you what is in any aisle. There was no way to know, and I was dodging 80,000 people inside of Costco. I literally rage quit, threw my hands up, and walked out the door of Costco. And I have never set foot inside a Costco since. So there's my Costco story. Now back to AWS.
That's a good Costco story.
I might have to rage quit AWS, though, if they keep expanding with too many products.
I don't think you get to make that decision, though.
Oh, I might rage quit it. I don't think my company can rage quit it, but I personally may.
We still need it.
AWS again.
So, if you can convince engineering to abandon it, then sure. But
no, I would never even attempt to do that. For those that are listening, our entire Jupyter One platform is built on top of AWS as a backend. So
that's it. If you were to lobby for that right now, it'd be a good time since it's actually been out most of the afternoon. So not throwing any shade at them, but
not our fault. Not our fault.
Not our fault.
Yep. My husband was also telling me, he works at Maxar and was telling me that they have an AWS outage too. So that's why I was like,
it was a global US One East, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. That is correct.
Other keynote. I interrupted your second keynote.
Oh yeah. Peter DeSantis, he's VP over, let me check my notes. AWS utility computing, but he talked about, he had an interesting section where he's talking about kind of like, I think it's Moore's law, the one that's like, about how like just more and more data and everything. And man, I'm really hesitant to like claim knowing facts on a live stream. I'm actually talking about that, and this is recorded, and people can check it later. So
they'll check it, and then you'll get comments, hate comments.
Those of you walking at home, everything I say is potentially not true.
Just caveat everything. Learn to be a marketing person. Caveat everything you do. You'll be fine.
In my head, it's all true, but it may not. The internet may disagree with me. Anyways, so he was talking about kind of like there's a dichotomy they're facing of like, we're getting where we can like cram more and more storage into these devices and get bigger and bigger hard drives and everything like that. But we're starting to also like see a problem where it's like, we need bigger, faster CPUs to like be able to keep up with all these. Otherwise, like we're slowing down and like, it's like becoming more like of a hindrance. So we talked about some of the things that AWS is like doing to combat that. And they announced a couple of new instance types that'll specialize with that. They talked a little bit about like machine learning and like different ways they had some cool diagrams about how like, a normal company that's using like graphics acceleration and like their browser might use a GPU, and then how like machine learning people might use it differently. I'm not a machine learning person or a graphics person, so it didn't make a ton of sense to me. But the takeaway of it is like, we're giving people options to be able to use like some of this hardware that we provide for them for like whatever best meets their needs, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they wrapped up, it was kind of a random, maybe I missed the transition, but then they started talking about like what AWS is doing to like help like the earth. And they talked about like their data centers and how they're trying to like optimize them and make them all like completely self-sufficient using solar, wind power. They claimed that they're the biggest purchaser of renewable energy, I think. Don't fact check me or I might be wrong. There's the caveat. But it sounds like they're doing a lot there, which like as like my wife and I care about that a lot. You know, everyone cares about that to a degree. But like I thought that was actually pretty cool. Like it makes me feel a little bit better about how much we rely on Big Orange out there.
Yes.
So I should move Big Orange. I just made that up actually.
So I should move my my 10,000 crypto mining rigs to Amazon. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, you know that's no.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I don't have
somebody on my team actually.
If I had 10,000 crypto mining rigs, I wouldn't be talking to the two of you right now.
Yeah, that's fair. You wouldn't. I don't think your internet would be working. Your power would be out. No, somebody on my team actually is like, I wonder if I can use like EC2, like big brain moment. Like, I wonder if I can use EC2, like Amazon's computers to like crypto mine for me and then use the money to pay for the EC2 server and then take whatever's off the top. So he spun up a couple of instances and like got it all working. And then like after like a month, he's like, oh, definitely not. Okay, we're putting this in bed right now. Just made Amazon a bunch of money and I just lost a bunch of money on this. So.
Oh man.
Well, that was the lesson learned.
But it's been done and it's been proven as a great, maybe even a better way than going to Las Vegas and playing poker to lose your money.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm good at losing money, so maybe you should have just stuck with it. Yeah, go ahead, try that.
I should have followed you around. I had terrible luck there. I made $0. I won one hand of blackjack, and then someone's like, "Let's go play craps," and I was like, "I will purchase a crap. Sure, let's do this." And I just followed kind of what the person next to me was doing, and then they got really mad and left. I was like, "Oh shoot, I lost all my money too. Guess I'm going to bed." So.
I will purchase a crap. That might be that might be the quote of the episode. So
we all have
on the thumbnail, we're gonna put Carter Hester Mann, MEN, and then we're gonna put a picture of his face, and then the quote says, "I will purchase a crap."
I'll happily get behind that, especially if you like make it a T-shirt. I'll fund it even. But yeah, that
Wonderful.
game.
I'm sure we can get team members to wear that too. Don't worry.
So. Ashley, I have one other question, then you can ask a bunch of questions. But
okay.
And this is an important question because I'm sure the audience will want to know the answer to this question. Biggest party you attended, best party you attended, most fun party you attended. Why was it fun? Why was it big? You can choose multiple. You don't have to say it was one for all of them. You can say one for this, one for that. What was the biggest? What was the best? And where did you have the most fun in Vegas while you were there?
See, you know, you knew I was going to love this question because like
I did. That's why I put it in there.
I like to have fun, and I like being around people. And Vegas is a great place to do both of those things. Don't read too much into that statement. I think.
Don't overthink it. Just go with it.
Don't overthink it. So it turns out Phil, the head of our engineering org, chief architect, got invited to some very exclusive events and met some big wig-esque people. I aspire to be like Phil in a lot of ways. The man's a legend.
As do we all. I do as well.
But one of the biggest things that I was like, wow, like Phil's doing the whole like Vegas thing where like you get to go and like meet people and then they're like, come and meet me at the foundation room at the top of Mandalay Bay. Just drop my name and get me in. And then like Phil turns to me, he's like, Carter, come and meet me at the foundation room at the top of Mandalay Bay. Drop my name and you'll get in.
Coolness flows downhill, Carter. It flows downhill.
It flows downhill. The trickle down coolness.
Well, no wonder I haven't gotten to experience any of that.
Well, hold on,
it's got a trickle to Tyler. That's very weak stream.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding. Okay, coolest party. Foundation was the coolest party though. So all that to say, so we went. Phil told us about like, hey, there's this thing that this company's putting on. They sponsored this exclusive nightclub called Omnia. It's at Caesar's Palace, and like it's like a cool club. Like we should go and check it out. And so we went and like got in line. We were like 30 minutes late, and they're like, yeah, 1,800 people registered for this, and we're only letting 400 in. So the rest of you gotta wait, and it's gonna be like 2 hours, and it's gonna be like $75-$80 to like get in per person. So like a bunch of people were just like, all right, I'm out. And I was like, no, like I believe I will stay.
Oh.
So I held out with a couple other people, and Phil texted the people that he met on his helicopter ride. That is another moniker from the company. And they're like, oh, we'll be right down. So they came down, and it was like the whole thing out of like a TV show where it's like they're like lined up outside the club. They like came, like took the little thing off and like let us go through the line, and like yeah, and they're like okay, like $75, and the guy's like, no, like they don't pay, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, now give them their VIP wristbands. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
So, took us upstairs, and there's a free bar up there, an open bar. So we were like sitting up there, and it's super loud, and I was kind of dancing and talking to Phil, and Phil's like, I don't want to cramp your style, Carter. Like, I see you want to go and dance. Like, go and dance. And so I went downstairs and got my freak on, just dancing and jumping around and headbanging with a bunch of strangers for not one, not two, I don't even know how many, but we got there at like 11 o'clock, and I left at 4 a.m.
Holy smokes.
It was wild. I made so many friends. I ran into a lot of them at the conference. It was funny because you're down there like dancing with a bunch of people, and it's like, you're from reInvent, and you are a regular at the club, and we do not belong here with you. I'm comfortable dancing around you are my people, and the rest of you clearly know what you're doing. So,
next time we go to Vegas, and we're in town at the same time, you and I 100% have to party, because I've got to see this live.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. There was,
as good as the story is, live has to be 10 times.
I'm trying to think of like the suitable for stream things to say. Somebody at the end asked me, like, because the people that came with me left at like 1 a.m. They're like, okay, like you're crazy, like we're out of here. And this is the only time I'm getting into a club like this. Like I'm gonna live it through to the end. I don't deal in half measures.
Makes sense. You're making the most of the situation.
I'm talking about this way too long, by the way. I'm sorry. There's probably more other interesting.
I was actually going to ask you if you could, showcase some of your moves. Honestly.
Well, you see, I'll hold on that, but I got to. So somebody at like 3:30 in the morning, I'm still going hard. Just like I don't drink. Like I'm just like prime. Everyone's like super like, and I'm like still there. Like yeah, let's do it. And somebody's like, dude, you're like tearing it up. Like, how do you have this much energy? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, okay, like I know you have some, like, do you have like, can I have some cocaine? Like, do you have it? I was like, no. It's like, do you like, where do I get it? And he was like, I was like, are you kidding? He's like, I'm not kidding.
Like, stop holding out, man. I can tell you're doing it. You're on it.
The story doesn't end there though. So I go like get out, like crawl into my cab, can't hear anything. I'm just like super tired, can't sleep. And then like 2 days later, we go to like replay the party at the end, and like Zed's there, and we jump around and have a good time. And then like one of the people on like our team at the company is like, oh, Carter, like come and meet my coworker. And I was like, Tyler, dude, we've already met. Like we got our freak on together. We jumped around and everything and listened to the loud music together. And he also asked me if I had cocaine, so that was fun.
You're not supposed to bring that up again after the event.
Super small world. The people you run into at 1 a.m. at a nightclub when you're jumping.
That's wild.
That was the craziest. That was probably one of the wildest nights of my life.
So the Zed show was good too, though?
Zed was awesome. Yeah. My wife flew out like Friday, and we were going to go like see Zed, and it's like $800 to like get into the club. I was like, oh, no way. And then Replay played it. So yeah. I was happy with that.
And it was a free show for you.
Yeah. I mean, free for me, not free for Jupiter One, but
yeah, exactly.
So clearly, relationships have been made in that club. Any other relationships or interesting sessions, I should say, whether it's at the clubs or elsewhere?
I'm gonna
segueing into
like talk more about like the club stuff because it's funny, but just circling it back to more practical topics.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just reading this comment. Carter purchased a crap and then got his party pants on. Great stories.
When do we get to see the party pants?
The party pants. I think the highlight of like the expo was like Jupiter One, like demoing like high fashion trends. Like I think we pioneered some stuff. I didn't actually wear the party pants.
You didn't wear the party pants?
I was doing incognito. I looked like a patron at the booth when I was talking to you guys. So it's like, oh, I'm interested. It's like you have like the tip jar and you put $1 in it, and all of a sudden people are like, oh.
Sounds like an excuse to me, Carter.
Well, the real excuse is I didn't bring a belt, and I was.
So for those that don't know, there's kind of a running joke here at Jupiter One where I don't even think it's a running joke. It's
an actual thing.
It's an actual thing.
It's our thing.
I consider it a running joke, but hey, it's our thing. We wear neon green pants or purple pants to match these colors here, this green and this purple, at the booth. So if you're doing booth duty, or even preferably if you are attending, we would love for you to wear your party pants. And so
with a belt.
Well,
Yes,
belt's
with the belt.
optional as long as they stay up. I don't care if you wear a belt, Carter. That's on you. But
Well, the staying up part was the tricky part. So.
well, if they don't stay up, you got to wear a belt, a rope,
Yeah.
an extension cord, something has to be
There's
used.
only so much I can make do with from my hotel room.
So, do you have your party pants on now?
I do have my party pants on.
So, can we
These
see?
are
Is
part of,
now
like,
the right time to
onboard.
ask for a
Yeah.
Do you want
dance?
to see the party pants?
100%.
I feel
I
like
want to
it's
see
major
the
hype
party
now, you know?
dancing.
Now
I
it's
wanna
like,
see
you guys
the
want to
party
see my pants? Like, I feel weird standing up. Nobody sees that. I work from home all day. Okay, should I do like a little like walkout thing?
Yeah, do a little
yes.
walkout for us, like
Model
a
it for
fashion
us.
walk. There we go.
Maybe exhibit some of those dance moves when
Let's
you
see its
get
fashion
down
walk. Here it is, folks. Be ready.
with his guitars.
Okay. I'm improvising this. Okay, so we're gonna.
He's on the catwalk.
Okay. So,
Oh, look at-
Oh, you got a cloak on too.
and then. All right. Is that good?
Yes,
I
that
could've
was
worn this,
fantastic.
More like the dance moves I was doing.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
gosh,
The
yes.
dance
Dance
moves.
moves are just there's
Thank
two.
you. Oh
There's-
my
I
gosh,
love it.
that is forever
Ladies and
going
gentlemen,
down. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carter Hesterman.
That was a really vulnerable moment for me, guys. Like, thanks for going on that journey with me.
Yes,
I learned.
thank you.
I think I learned
Thank
more
you.
about myself from AWS like reInvent than I did about actual AWS. Like, I didn't know what it'd be like getting into a cab at 4 a.m. I didn't know what it'd be like losing all my money at a craps table or purchasing.
You've learned a lot. I had a friend once. We were inside the Cosmopolitan. He was so drunk he walked out in the taxi line at the Cosmopolitan, got in the cab, and asked the cab driver to take him to the Cosmopolitan. And the cab driver just to get the hell out of my cab.
I was gonna say I hope the cab driver like drove like 2 times around the block and charged him for it, and then kicked him out. Like, okay,
And that's a
here
true
you go.
story of a former Forrester analyst friend of mine.
That's funny.
Okay, relationships. Ashley, did you have any more questions about relationships? You started to go down that path before I hijacked it for the party pants
Yes,
discussion.
it's all good. Carter, I just wanted to see if there's any other, aside from the relationships you had in the club,
Yeah.
other business professional relationships that were built as well. Any cool conversations, learnings, partnerships,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
There are a couple. This one was more one-sided, but I talked with the CTO of Circle CI for a little bit. I'm kind of a fanboy of their work. I did my own thing on the side for like 6 years, and like I used them for like exclusively for all like my CI/CD needs.
Actually, pause. Can you step back a couple? Because I don't think we ever formally introduced what your background is. So
We
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
100% did not. We jumped right in. Yeah, we
Oh
did.
man, I'm just the guy with long hair that I did all this when I had the guitar. I'm sorry. I just follow Tyler's lead.
Give us your,
Yeah, you want me
give us your
to
background.
just
Yes.
kind of give my. All right, so I'm Carter Hesterman with an A, and I'm based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I've worked at JupiterOne for about 3 years. I started after maybe 5 or 6 months, so I've been on for a while now, since before we even had a product. I am the director of engineering over the applications team, so I manage 13, 14 engineers. We work on the UI and the backend services for the UI that it talks to.
So
what were you
I'm gonna-
doing before?
This is my script I go through in all my interviews, by the way, where I'm
So I'm going to interrupt right there and just be
Please.
like, hey, how would you like to be one of the 14 people that has to work for this guy? I'm just saying. Just
we
saying.
dance with a booty shake like that. I mean, I can't blame scaring people off. I will be held liable for that.
So Carter, I poke a lot of fun at Carter, mostly because I love him and he's such a good guy and he's so much fun to have around. And I've always enjoyed hanging out with him. He is responsible for a big chunk of the engineering side of the house at JupiterOne and has done a phenomenal job of building quite an amazing product. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we get back into the relationship discussion. Talk, as Ashley was saying, now that we know a little bit about your background, talk a little bit about the relationship. So the Circle CI guy.
yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing before JupiterOne that made you use Circle CI? I guess is the question there. And then go into the Circle CI story.
So I ran just a consultant. So before JupiterOne, I worked at a couple other startups also, but on the side for a long time, nights and weekends, I did. It started one person actually, just when I was in college, was Carter, I've got this great business idea. I just need a developer to make it. And me being a junior college was I'll make it for you. And he's it's a site that sells horse semen, and it's going to be called Book Your Stud. And
Are you for real?
I'm actually being for real right now. This is way more detail than you actually wanted.
100% did not see this coming, audience. There was no prep call that talked about.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
No, there was. We talked about
We'll
some
get it.
prep
We'll
before.
cut that out in post, right?
We're live. We're live.
Yeah.
We'll cut it in post. This is the company that has the Tadpole viewer on their LinkedIn. Go and look it up on LinkedIn, Tadpole viewer. So,
Okay.
I figured it was safe. But
It-
It's all
hey,
good.
it-
Don't
it's
get
safe.
bashful now. Continue.
Don't get bashful. I'm just poking at you. Continue.
yeah.
So you really built this site?
Yeah, so built it, and it's like Ancestry.com for horses, and eBay for horses. So you.
So when you put it that way, it sounds a hell of a lot better than the other way you put it. But okay.
It's it's. So that was what it, and then my personal company was born of Carter building websites for random people that have mediocre ideas.
And how long did you do that before you
About
joined
6
Jupiter
years.
One?
Up until Jupiter One spun out into their own company. Actually, I did it on the side, and then it's like Jupiter One is my company now. I need to put more time into this. So I don't have time for this other
Thank
thing.
you. Appreciate
And I had
that.
a daughter, so that might have influenced it as well.
Yes.
So anyways,
you got to meet the
that's what I
CTO.
used, and so I used Circle CI for building a lot of that. So yeah, I talked with him a large amount. We use Jenkins with running on like a lot, ECS containers, Docker stuff, lots of technical. We manage a lot of it. And Circle CI was interesting. I'm trying to not make it a Circle CI sales pitch on our live stream. I should be selling Jupiter One. But yeah, it was interesting. It was cool to connect with them and like hear some of like their strategy for like connecting with customers. One thing that they did that was interesting is like I used it for a personal project a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, this is like way different. Like I'm able to do way more and have all these things. I was like, asked him about it. I was like, did you guys change your model? He's like, oh yeah, we just like made all the features like totally free for people. And then like when they want to like double down and like get serious and like do big scale, then they pay us. But like people, just doing things like you, like we don't want to like make you pay like money to like do this. Like it's great. It's easy for us. So
You built a relationship with them at AWS a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you bump into them there? Did you pre-plan it?
Kind of actually, yeah. I saw that they had a booth there, and I like kind of stalked him, and I was like, Rob Seaver. I was like, all right, gonna talk to him.
I meant, did you reach out to him before the event? You like stalked him, pre-planned it. You premeditated, stalked.
It was a tactical conversation to be had.
Dude, I hate to say this to you, Carter, dude, but I love you. But dude, if you stalked me, I would have run and got a restraining order immediately.
I don't think I would have recognized.
You didn't even recognize him.
You look pretty different than you do in your LinkedIn photo.
Yeah, because that LinkedIn photo is like 10 years old, and I had hair and an actual beard that
I wasn't gonna say it.
Who else did you meet? So Circle CI guy. Who else did you meet?
Sentry. Sentry's a platform that does a lot of things, application performance monitoring and error monitoring. A lot of things. We use them very heavily. And so Phil and I, head of engineering, went to a lunch with them that they were hosting at like some brewery where they had tacos. Food was like really, really solid medium, like really okay. But the conversation was good. I was expecting to go in and like talk about like the Sentry product. I had a few questions from the team that they wanted to, be like to ask them this about Sentry, and like Sentry's docs are awesome. Like they're really good. And I was like, you know what? Like we can just like look this stuff up. How often are we going to be able to like be in like the same room as like their VP of engineering and like talk to them? So I actually kind of shifted the conversation less from like the product and more of like, okay, like a year ago, you guys were at 90 employees. And today you're at 180. We're currently at 90 employees, and we want to be at 180 a year from now, right? Or something like that.
It's actually not far off, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so talked with them a lot about the challenges and like strategies they use to like manage that growth from the engineering side of things. And that was really interesting. What
were the, I'm going to double click you on that real quick. What were the one or two key things, even just one key thing that he said, as you're growing from 90 to 180, or in our case, we're going 80 to 165, 170 next year. Yeah. What's the one thing that or two things that just do this, or make sure you don't do this? What did he say?
Yeah, I wish it was like that easy to consume. The guy was like really quiet and it was really loud. But the main things, and it was a little kind of, I asked him very broad questions, so he gave me very broad answers. But there were actually like a lot of things that I walked away from that with. Probably the main one that I would say that stuck out to me was like making sure that like everybody's working on like what they want to be working on, like as much as you can like enable it. Like the company needs this, and like we need this person to be an engineer right now, not a team lead, or we need this person to be a team lead, not an engineer right now. And like trying your best to like shift the conversation around that, like where do you want to be, and then how can we like align that with the company needs.
I love that. I love that. I follow that philosophy with my team quite a
I
bit.
do as well.
And you can't always do it. Here's the thing too. I've learned, Carter, and I don't know if it's going to be useful for you for you listening to me to say this, but I have found that there'll be times you won't be able to do that. It's going to be the most frustrating times as a leader when you can't help your employees become what they want to become. It's the worst freaking feeling, but it's great to certainly shoot that direction. And I try to do that with my team as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that stuck out to me. I was like, this resonates with me. Like, I like to think that I kind of default to trying to do that, but I think taking a more active approach to like being with that is important. The other thing, their team structure is a little bit different than ours, where like we have teams, at least kind of in like my part of the garden. We've got 3 squads of about 5 people each, and they have a team lead on each one. Team lead's kind of responsible for code reviews and like making sure work and everything. They have a technical lead and then like a manager on each squad. And like, I'm the manager technically, like I'm the boss for like, the 3 squads. Like, if they have compensation questions, personnel issues, things like that, they come to me and talk about that. I enable them and things like that. But they had like a boss in each squad. And then they had a technical lead on top of that, which to me feels like a lot of management, or like paying for a lot of managers. Like that feels a little bit too niche. Or too like small in scope. But certainly like with some of the issues we run into right now with like growing the team, like that would help, or at least something more in that direction. So it's thought provoking, kind of talking with Phil about like, okay, how could we maybe invest more in like getting more management talent in our.
Did you talk to him about, and you may not have, and if you didn't, just say no, that's fine. But did you talk to him all about how to get culture, how to drive culture in any way, or did you not approach that?
We didn't cover that. It's a very different. They have 3 offices, one in like Austria, like one in San Francisco, and like I don't remember the other one. But we didn't talk to them about the culture thing. And culture in like a remote environment. I would love to talk about this another time, but that's a whole different.
Maybe we'll have you back on at a later date to really dig into kind of remote culture building, because I have a lot of thoughts on that too, and we could definitely go down. We're already 37 minutes into a 45-minute.
I know. I've been taking so much. I'm having so much fun with this though. This is awesome.
No, well, here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing is like I could talk to you for hours, and actually, what I want to do is tell the audience right now. First of all, if you are interested in coming to work at JupiterOne, either on Carter's team, right? Because I know we're hiring, or on anywhere within JupiterOne, or specifically within the organization, the enterprise engineering organization, feel free to email me, tyler.shields@JupiterOne. You can email carter.hesterman with an A at jupiterone.com. And we can make sure you get routed to the right audience, because we are hiring like crazy.
Not bad.
Gotta sit in the center of the screen there, Carter. We are hiring like crazy. So please reach out if you are interested in looking for a position.
Doing that.
And I want to throw something else out at you, Carter, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. You might curse me later, but at some point in the future, maybe after the new year, is there a chance, even a remote chance whatsoever, that we might be able to start a Carter Hesterman hosted live stream?
There's like two emotions in me. It's like, yeah, talking and like this is like so much fun. And the other side is like, Carter, you're so busy already and doing other things. You're gonna curse Tyler's name later.
All right, he's non-committal, folks. I'm not going to make him commit. But I don't
deal with half measures. Hell yes, Tyler. Absolutely.
I'm going to twist his arm and get him to hopefully help us with a show. And one of us, either Ashley or myself, will be a co-host for him, a second host. But hey, we'll work on that, and we'll tell you when the Carter Hesterman show comes into being. Which, quite frankly, you have a name for podcasting. Carter Hesterman's like the coolest, freaking easy flow off the tongue. It's the Carter Hesterman show.
The way you say it, I agree with it, but like I can barely pronounce my own name when I'm talking. They're like, "What?" And I was like, "Carter and the Carter
Hesterman show."
So you do it.
Any additional topical questions? We're at 39 minutes. We got about maybe 10-15 more minutes, but I don't want to run too long on this and lose the audience. Any more topical questions for Mr. Hesterman?
Well, so one of the things that I was going to circle back to was, you're growing your team. One of the sessions that I know you said you went to was around training your team. Were there any key highlights there that you're either going to implement or would like to share with the audience on that particular session?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up, because that was one of the more. I went to a lot of sessions, and like some of them were good, some of them a lot of them were like, yeah, that was fine. That was probably useful for like maybe like one person in the room that was like, this is the thing I've been doing for like my whole career. But my schedule got tipped upside down, and like I didn't realize how far apart things were. So I was like, I'm just going to duck into this one and see what this is. And I ended up landing in one that's like how Principal modernized, and like Principal, like the financial company, like 200 years old, modernized and like went from on-prem to the cloud. And they talked about like how they trained all their people to like do that. And it was interesting, fairly different than like where we're at as a company, right? But the principles are actually really similar of like, I'm bringing people onto my team that some of them don't have cloud experience, or some of them do have cloud experience, but like we need more. AWS has a lot to offer. It's like walking down like some of like the food aisles at Walmart that we were talking about earlier. It's like, I have no idea how to cook that, but it looks really cool. I just need somebody to like help me like figure out how to make like, I don't know, curry or something. And then that'd be great.
There's instructions on the box.
Hopefully it works well. There is instructions on the box for AWS products as well, but they're not always helpful. Sometimes you make something and it does not come out tasting very good.
Pretty much every time I make something, it does not come out. I can't.
So getting to the point of this, there was a lot of discussion around like I had some questions for them about like they'd have like sessions to like train people, or they'd like set them up where it's like you can go at your own pace, you can attend these sessions. I guess those are kind of the two ones. And then like we have like tutors like available for you as well. But like the big question I had was like, okay, but like, were you expecting them to like do this in their free time or like during company time? And if it was during company time, like how did that work? Like, and so they said like, yeah, this is like really hard to like get buy-in from like, you know, everyone from the top down, where it's like, everybody has to be okay with like, okay, employee X is like going through like the gauntlet right now. Like they're learning how to do some stuff in AWS. They're doing training, and their capacity is going to be slashed a little bit because of that. And it's important for like them to not feel pressured. Like I need to learn and get my work done, because if it's up to those two, you're going to get your shit done and get your work done. And so that was one that was like thought provoking for me of like, I need to train also, but like also like I encourage learning and growth on the team, but we also are like running very fast. And so like, it'll be a challenge to try and figure out how to bake time for that, and like how much time we should bake into that for, you know, training our employees and giving them opportunities to grow still.
Yeah, it's a fine balance. It's a fine balance against output, education, retainment, employee happiness. All those things go into that equation. And I don't think there's a single right answer. I don't think there's a single right answer for even the one company that changes over time, right? The answer today is different than the answer a year from now, is different than the answer 5 years from now as you grow your company, right? It's at different stages and states. So super interesting, the deltas that come into play there.
Totally. Yeah, that was probably the most thought-provoking session I went to. I felt weird because it wasn't about an AWS product. Like I went to a few Dynamo ones, and those are cool, but I don't think anybody's super interested in hearing me talk about like advanced DynamoDB patterns.
Well, what is the one highlight that you remember from the Dynamo talk that you were like, hey, this is the highlight? This was
honestly, so like I went to like a couple ranging like across the board in like complexity. And there's like a 200 level course I went to. They had like up to like 400, I think. That's like, which NoSQL database is right for me? And I'm like easy. Like we went over this in like college, like no problem. And it was just like so like rudimentarily like simple and straightforward, and like they weren't trying to sell the products. They were just describing like, these are the things that, and this is when you use Dynamo, this is when you use DocumentDB, this is when you use Neptune with like a GraphDB or something like that. And it was like really helpful to just have that like laid out. Like I've worked with all these things, but I've never thought of it from like that simple of a perspective.
Yeah, so sometimes the fundamental framework that allows you to create that grounding is not always there when you're even at a 401 level on some of these products. You just never really thought about it at that basic way.
It was like, it like filled a piece of my foundation that I didn't realize was missing. So that was like props to whoever did that talk. I can't remember.
Well, and it goes to show you that even though you're running a team of 14, you can always still learn at every level, right? From the 101 to the 401. So never turn your nose up at any educational opportunity if you have it in front of you.
Absolutely.
What else is on the docket, Miss Lee?
I think it's time to go to our fun section.
Oh, you think it's time? Oh, yes. I have one other topic before we. No.
I don't know what that is, but I'm already super
Okay.
excited. Whatever you're
Okay.
about to do is going to be.
It's
Well, we're
fine.
gonna
Do
break
your
down-
topic, and then I'll do the intro again. Don't worry.
I wanted to bring up one final topic because we're going to run late, and I don't care because I'm having such a good time. So I'm going to let this one run late. I wanted to bring up the keyboard topic.
Oh,
So Jupiter One gave away a keyboard. Okay. Now we gave away 3 of them, actually, one each day of AWS. And I have to admit, this is where I get to show my old age and my disconnectedness from what is cool and hip, because I am not cool and hip. I've embraced that many years ago. Because as a matter of fact, I wanted to give away a racing drone, $1,000 racing drone. And my team was like, no, we need to give away keyboards. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? We got to give away keyboards. Like, I've thrown away more keyboards than most people will ever own in their life. Why do we need to give away a keyboard? Well, it turns out keyboards are a thing. I didn't realize this. So we had 3 custom keyboards made. They were called begins with, it wasn't quintessential. It was
Control? Or
what was it?
No, it was like quality or something you can say. Like
Begins with a Q, and it's amazing brand of keyboards. Anyways, we had 3 of these custom made, and they have. I learned throughout that it's a BMX or BBMX keyboard made by this Q company that uses what's called black mechanical components and keys. And I just got this education on keyboards that I didn't even know was the thing. And so I'm out there on the very first night, and I grabbed this keyboard off the table behind me, and I pull it in front of me, and I realize this sucker is at least 15 pounds. Like, if I hit somebody on the head with this, they're dead. They will not come back to life. Like, it's that heavy. And I was just amazed, first of all, at the quality of this keyboard. But what's the deal, Carter? Are you a keyboard nerd?
I cannot claim to be a keyboard nerd given the level of what's the right way to say it? Because it's like really impressive. There are people on my team who would get mad if I call myself a keyboard nerd because they like have an understanding of it. So this is for you, Carlos. I am not good at keyboards, but I care about them. I'm a small keyboard nerd. Also, I'd like to point out, Ashley, I was at the convention. I went and was just walking up to the booth, and Ty was doing his keyboard thing, offering it to people. And he offered me, he was like, hey, you wanted a keyboard? Come listen to him talk about it. And then I pulled down my mask. He's like, oh, get out of here. Tyler, you didn't recognize me. Spelling my name wrong.
The keyboard.
Not recognizing me.
In my defense, your hair was back. I had never seen
my hair was tied back.
I had never seen you with your hair pulled back.
It was day 2 of the convention, so I didn't have to start wearing a hat yet. So,
and for what it's worth, I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to figure out what that keyboard brand was so we can tell the audience.
No, it was something it was a good name too, strong name. So I've got this one. It lights up. It plays songs. I don't know. It doesn't play songs.
See, that looks like a reasonable keyboard.
It's not. It's great. It's huge. It's a Corsair K70 RGB Lux.
The fact that it has a model
mechanical
number
keyboard
is crazy to me.
It's so I didn't get one until a couple years ago, but it's a mind game, and maybe people will disagree with me on this, but you get the right kind of switches so that the keys make the perfect sound when you do it, and all of a sudden you feel like you're typing a billion miles per hour. It's and then it gets and then you start typing faster. You're like, this is so much fun. I can hear the code that I'm writing, and so it's a very tactile. It makes your work way more tactile, and I'm not just creating things digitally, but I'm also creating things, analog, audibly into the universe. So it just doubles the amount that you're creating when you're typing really fast.
Yeah.
And then you can share it with everyone else around you too.
When my husband uses his mechanical keyboard, I'm like, are you angry at the world or something like that? Because it's so loud.
Just passionately
it's just
typing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it actually does make you feel like you're typing fast, and gets me excited when I hear this sounds really impressive to everybody around me.
That is hilarious.
Well, I was just looking in the background trying to find that keyboard. It begins with a Q. It's like Quality or Qualtric or Qual something. Anyways, $370 keyboard. We gave away 3 of them. I thought it was pretty cool. And I wasn't sure if you were a keyboard nerd and could provide additional color on that keyboard, but I guess not. So now...
Small keyboard.
I'm not at all. As long as I have a laptop with a keyboard, that's all I need. But all right, Ashley, let's redo this. Hit it.
Okay, we are now transitioning to the fun part of our stream today called the rapid fire.
Woo, here we go.
I need to get some sound effects going or something like that.
We do.
Absolutely.
We need a bed. They call it a bed in the radio world.
Soundboard.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out later. Anyways, so today's rapid fire is a music trivia. So I'm going
Why did we choose music trivia?
because y'all are geeks about guitars and music.
So I came up with the idea. I do have a slight advantage because I did come up with the idea. I said, Ashley, I got to throw down on music trivia against Carter. Like, we both are the two guys that always have the guitar in the background. And for the audience that doesn't know, because I haven't done this show from my home studio yet, I actually have a wall full of guitars, a lot like Carter's. Mine are kind of horizontal across, but 6 of them across and some amps behind my camera station as well. So I had to throw down on a music trivia.
I'm gonna say that like I don't actually play guitar. They're just there on display, and I don't actually like music either. So we'll see. I'm just kidding.
Do you know a lot about music?
You're
Trivia
so
stinks
such a
the crap out of me.
sandbagger.
So let's do this. I'm really bad at trivia, so here
Well,
we go.
you did know who Malmsteen was. That would have been a
I
free
did know who
point if that
Malmsteen
was the
was, so
first
that's one
question.
of my favorite. So
All right.
I,
Miss
All
Ashley.
right, so the
let's
way
go.
it's going to go down, we've got 10 questions. The first person to tell me the right answer will get the point. And then at the end of the 10 questions, we'll see who comes out on top. Now,
I think
if
I have
both
the
of you,
advantage since like delay and time zone goes to you faster than Tyler, right? Because Tyler's out on the East Coast, but I'm in Mountain Time.
he's too far, 2 hours ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off.
All right.
No, you're
Stretched
fine.
and ready. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay,
If you guys, if it's completely silent, and you guys don't know, oh, getting your green pants ready. I like it. You're wearing your belt this time, right?
oh
He
yeah,
does look like more of a rock star than me too. So
All right. If you guys don't know the answer, I have multiple choice, so that way there you can still get to resolution on that. So, all right. First question: what musician was deported from Japan in the 1980s for possession of marijuana?
in the 80s, sounds like Ozzy Osbourne. No.
I'm scared to see. This is the live stream thing where it's like I don't want the whole thing I said earlier. This is a fact, but I might have to default to multiple choice on this.
Yeah, let's go multiple choice.
Okay. Your choices are Elton John, Madonna, Paul McCartney, or David Bowie.
Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, go Carter.
I was going to say it was one of the Beatles, but I was like, eh.
Oh, so you could have had 2 points. So that's one. You could have had 2 points if you got it
I'm
before
willing to take
multiple
one
choice.
over 0. How does it
All right,
feel?
I'm keeping
to take
score.
that donut.
I'm keeping score. I got Carter with 1, Tyler with 0.
Okay.
I was gonna say John Lennon, so Paul McCartney was. So John Lennon would have been wrong.
All right. Next question. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is situated in what U.S. state?
Oh, Cleveland.
Indianapolis.
Cleveland.
It's in Ohio. Cleveland.
Yeah, Carter, Ohio. Good job.
Ohio's
Wait,
a
I
state.
said Cleveland.
I said state, sir.
Oh my
you gotta
God.
say the
Weak
state.
sauce. What
I
city
said
is it?
city.
It is in Cleveland. I
Okay,
went to
yeah,
I'm
visit.
not going to get points for that.
Okay, fine.
No,
I'll get you.
Tyler
both
gets the
points.
points for that. That was fast. That was quick.
Circle gets the
Yes.
square, and I only know that because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions were last month, or like a month or 2
Mhm.
ago, and I watched them on part of them on HBO.
Very nice.
That's I aspire to go there one day. It's on my bucket list.
I aspire
Yeah,
to be
no,
in
it's
it
pretty cool.
one day.
Ooh.
No, not
Really?
at all.
And you're
really.
not going to
No.
perform on here? Come
Yeah, come on, you
on.
can't
Because I will never be in it.
Tyler, you tease, please.
All right, question 3. Hit us.
Okay. Question 3. What singer did Freddie Mercury perform the duet Under Pressure with?
David Bowie.
Yeah.
2 points for Tyler.
See, Tyler was like alive for all of this. Tyler was there.
Wow.
My mom wasn't even born yet.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Take the dagger
one-
out
that one
of
wasn't true.
my, out of
That
my
one-
heart, Hesterman.
That one wasn't true. I'm just getting competitive.
I'm just.
Well, I'm still going to
laughing
kick your ass
at
the
you.
rest of the show, so let's go. Next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay,
let's
so
do it.
here's a question for someone more recent.
Oh, God.
What was Lincoln Park originally called?
Oh, I didn't know they had a name.
I didn't know
before
that.
Linkin
I
Park.
didn't name either. So
I mean, I know
Okay,
that.
multiple choice. I'll give you multiple
yeah.
choice. Lincoln Park, Gamma Ray, Hybrid Theory, or Zero?
Hybrid Theory.
that's the name of it. What was the last one?
Zero.
Oh, Hybrid Theory is the name of one of the albums of
Yeah,
Shinoda's
I'll go
album.
with B. Gamma. A.
Nope.
You only
D.
get one? D it is.
D.
Who All
Nobody
right, I
gets credit.
get it. First try.
No
What was D?
points here.
What was D?
Zero. XERO. That was
Oh,
their
that's-
original name. Then they
that's a
changed
dumb
it to
one.
Hybrid Theory, and then they changed it to Linkin
Oh,
Park.
so their name was Hybrid Theory.
Oh, you were kind of right. I think Tyler deserves at least like a
Nope,
half.
I won't take credit.
No
I'm
pity
still-
points. No.
No, and I'm
Fair and
beating
square.
your tail 4-1.
You are, but I got the Paul McCartney.
How did you get four points? We only had
Two
4
if you
questions.
get it before. If you get it
If
before
you did
the.
without multiple choice.
Oh, new rules. Okay, we're
He's
making
a,
it
no,
closer
it's
to go.
it's a fair rule. He's a fair judge.
I make up rules as I go.
That's what you do
All
when
right,
you're
all
an executive.
It's true.
Next question. How many different instruments did Prince play on his debut album?
All of
Oh,
them.
good heavens.
16.
11.
16.
No, that's not very Princey. Let's say 30.
No, 16.
Is it actually
Are those
16?
your final answers? I'll
Yes.
award this one to the closest one.
17.
16.
No. The final answer was 27. So
Yeah,
Carter,
okay.
you
Well,
got
you
it
were
right with
closer
30.
either way.
Now
We'll
that-
give you 2 points, Carter.
Okay.
So I heard that. I listen to music trivia every morning on the radio.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
what? I didn't
And-
know
Are you
that.
serious?
Totally
And that
in your
question was
face.
on it. That question was on it, but I couldn't remember the answer.
That's like, oops,
That's
like,
cheating.
let's play music. Oh,
Negative
I
4
happen to
points
be
for
really
you,
good at
Brendan.
this.
Happened to be a music trivia.
It's okay. This is worthy competition. I'm happy.
It is worthy. All right.
You're just
Next question.
cushioning me for when I lose. I appreciate it. That's a good friend, Tyler.
What question number are we on, Ash?
4.
We are
5?
now on question 5.
Okay, question 5.
Question 5. Which classic rock album is sometimes said to be a soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz? I'll give you
Pink
multiple
Floyd,
choice.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, there's-
Wow. I'm
I
sorry,
saw it in my
Carter.
head.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Next question,
Man.
please.
I think Tyler
Okay.
wrote this.
I
That
should
was a good
have.
question, though. That was a good question.
Well, because
Okay.
that one, if you turn it on at the start of the movie,
You got to get it
actually
with like the line.
goes through the whole thing.
Yeah. I've never actually done it, though.
I never have either. Which maybe we should do that as a viewing party one
Watch
day
party.
on stream or something. That'd be kind of fun.
Sounds,
Yeah, let's do that.
sounds good to me.
It'll never happen. Next question. Question 6.
What was Elvis Presley's middle name?
Ooh,
John?
Elvis Presley's middle name.
I'm really trying hard not to Google it. I'm not going to, but
You'll be disqualified if you
I'm
do.
getting my
Okay.
butt handed to
Are
me.
we gonna
so-
do multiple choice? Multiple choice for this?
Yeah, let's do multiple choice.
Yep.
Okay. Answer A, Aaron. B, Xavier. C, Michael. D, David.
Go see.
A. Aaron.
See Michael.
Aaron is the right answer.
I believe that makes it 7-3.
Ouch.
Carter, we're gonna bring you on the show, and then I'm gonna flex on you. Show you.
Yeah. So the last question we're gonna do, you can bet whatever amount you wanna bet.
Do the Squid Game style.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Question 8.
Yes.
Oh, wasn't sure if you knew how to count.
No. I mean, I have more than 10 questions on my
Oh.
list, which is why
I
I
got
was,
you.
yeah. Okay. What American rock band was founded as a one-person project in Seattle in 1994?
The Foo Fighters
Yeah.
by David
Good
Grohl,
Was it really?
former drummer of Nirvana.
Yes.
Wow.
He played
Wow.
every
Any
instrument.
listeners on here? Would any of you have gotten that as well? Back me up here. I'm drowning here. The
I
Foo
I'm not gonna
Fighters.
lie.
literally last week finished reading Dave Grohl's most recent book.
Wow.
I'm
I
speechless.
should have mixed music
Speechless.
trivia.
9-3. Next
That
I
is
question.
should have known.
Somebody
Okay.
get this man a raise.
Okay, next question. How many times were Linkin Park rejected by record labels?
Hmm.
Do we
Are you
have-
gonna do closest again?
Yeah. I'll go
Yeah,
first this time so
closest.
that you can do the.
No, I'll go first. I'm in the lead. I'll go first. I think it's exactly 6.
Okay, well, I'll go with. I think it is 11.
Carter is the closer number. The actual number is 44.
That was a
Wow.
lot.
Yep. They were
Crazy.
rejected 44 times.
Hey Jeff.
All right.
Oh Jeff, don't watch this. I'm embarrassing myself. Now I'm
What's up,
embarrassing
Jeffrey?
more people. Just turn around. this isn't going well.
All right. Since I am at 9 and you are at 5, I'm going to bet 0, and you can bet it all and win.
This is the last question.
But if I get it right and you get it wrong, you go to 0. You just got stomped.
Okay, but like I lose anyway, so like
You got to go for it.
yeah. Let's
No,
roll. Okay, yeah. Let's
And
go.
I'll bet 0 just to make it competitive. It's
We're doing
9
this
to
on
5.
question 9, not question 10.
This is question 10.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you said question.
Or is it 9? Am I off by
no.
one?
We just finished 9,
Yeah,
so
got it.
we're on
Okay,
question
yeah.
10.
Carter
I'm
doesn't know how to
on
count
it.
either. So.
Okay, got it. Let's do it. All
And
in.
to think he's an engineering
I
leader.
just got back from Vegas and lost everything already, so I've learned nothing.
All right.
Okay,
Bet it
here's
all.
your final question. What did Queen vocalist Freddie Mercury attribute his enhanced vocal range to?
I can tell you right now if you want me to give you the answer.
Do it.
It's the size of his mouth and his oversized jaw and teeth.
Really?
Say that again. Sorry.
His teeth being so big, his mouth being so big.
It depends on how particular you want me to get with this answer. So Carter, I would like to hear your answer.
Let's say his big old heart, and it came from his soul.
So how do you go from
Where it came
his close to teeth to his heart? How do you make that leap, Carter?
It's fuzzy. It's a feel good answer, Tyler. It's for the fans. It's for the viewers.
You could have
And now
said
we-
his lungs.
we
You
ended
could
on a
have
happy
said
note.
he just practiced really hard.
No,
What is he attributed
Freddie
to?
Mercury just
He
really
attributes-
cared, and that's what came through in his voice.
He attributes it to his extra teeth. So apparently he had 4 extra teeth.
And
that is what
Tyler
he-
gets like a point for that. That's
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I beat you without the points.
yeah.
Carter.
You stomped me. So like
Any
yeah.
bonus questions, Ashley, that you like that
think
you want
this
to throw out before we call it?
Yes.
I thought there might be one or two more.
is this a riff off that you talked about?
This was our riff off. Yes. Hawaii outage dominoes says magical mermaid is commenting.
Nice.
Awesome. Hawaii outage dominoes. I'm not sure what that
Domino's is
means. but-
probably using US East 1 in Hawaii, and that's a really bad data center for them to be using. So I'm sorry, Magical Mermaid, but your Domino's will come eventually.
Okay. What's the bonus question?
Okay.
there?
Bonus question. Which Beatle worked on a James Bond theme song?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Carter.
I can only remember 3 of them.
Okay, I can give you 4. So Ringo Starr, Paul
no.
McCartney.
It's probably not the
Oh, the
fourth one.
songs? Oh.
No. So I'm gonna say Ringo.
No, George Harrison.
Okay, that's the one I
Wrong.
Oh,
Wrong and wrong.
got. Okay,
It's
Ringo was a
McCartney.
bad choice. It was a bad choice. I told you.
it was Ringo.
No, it was,
No, it wasn't
Paul
Ringo.
McCartney.
Okay.
Which one?
Paul. Paul.
You might have to
Paul
look that
McCartney
up.
is the answer to 2 questions. That's tricky.
I know.
She is tricky.
That is tricky.
Hawaii state with most problems people don't know.
I hear it.
Yep.
True that, Magical Mermaid.
True that.
Not sure what we're discussing, but you're on
Preach.
point.
Yes,
Preach.
and Jeffrey, I did talk about BTS earlier today, so you'll have to just watch it on demand when we sign off. So
I think we should
All
make the classic rock trivia segment a weekly
regular?
segment, and I will
Okay.
challenge an audience member if they want to challenge me.
That'd be-
okay.
I like classic rock is like what my swimming pool that I'm like comfortable in, and I just got stomped. So like
That's true.
yeah. So
It's okay, Carter. You can partner
I
with
would-
me, and we can make it super difficult for him for future episodes.
you know, I'm not even mad. I'm just kind of inspired now. Like I'm just gonna go listen to some Queen or
Dude, as you said,
Linkin Park. I feel like having a happy evening, but like I'm
as
gonna
you
listen.
said, man, I was alive for all of it, so I do have a
Well,
bit of an advantage. All right, we're at an hour 4 minutes. I believe
Yes.
we're done. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask Carter?
No, I think
Okay.
I think this was a fabulous episode. So thank you, Carter, for joining us. Really
Yeah,
appreciate.
Carter, I'm really serious when I say, man, you made this episode super fun.
Oh, I
Thank you
appreciate that.
so much for coming on. I am going to work on twisting your arm and trying to get it maybe once a month or once every third week
If
Carter
we-
Hesterman show, because I think it would be cool as hell, and I think our audience would love it. For those of the the few people that are listening to us right now, please hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the notify, all those good
Smash
things.
that button.
Smash that like, do all those things that the young cool hip people say. And yeah, thank you for coming on our show, and thank you, Carter. We really enjoyed having you on here.
Happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
See you next time.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you.